Poshak is out on the right side for the Rangers with Jansen's in the middle and Chris King on the left side. And the Islanders, McDonough stole the puck, dumped it in. Dale Henry gets back on side, and the Rangers send Brian Leach back for it. Leach feeds it up the left side. Jansen comes over center ice, dumping it in wide to Mark Fitzpatrick. Baumgartner on the Islander defense, trying to play it away from Jansen's. It comes right back into that pile up in the corner, and there's King and Henry. King for the Rangers in this case, and Dale Henry moves it to the corner. Dakota steps into Poshak. This King picked up the puck and was knocked off it by Doug Crossman. King taken down by Dakota. Andy Van Helleman lets the boys play, and the puck is dumped out into center ice. This is Brian Leach. Moves it to the left side, and Chris King flips it into the Islander zone wide of the net. Both teams in the middle of some player changes. Baumgartner, the transition, moves it to the line, but the Rangers bring it back in offside. Take a look at who's not in the lineup tonight.
For the Rangers, Randy Moeller, Chris Nyland, Terry Wilson, Norman Rochford, David Shaw, Mark Hardy, Paul Sear, and Ron Greshner. All out of the lineup for the New York Rangers. For the Islanders, Dean Chenault, Richard Pilon, Rob DeMille, Joe Ricci, Brian Trache, and Gilles Thibodeau. Flatley back in the lineup.
I was just going to say, that means that the flat man, Patrick Flatley, reportedly playing on a broken foot, is in the lineup tonight. LaFontaine centers for Lauer and King at the moment. That's Nyland with a pass to Lauer. Dumped one in, it was deflected. Now Horshavu got that long list of Ranger injuries. They're reduced to 4 healthy defensemen here tonight as Ron Greshner just so banged up he can't play. Turcotte in after the puck. Hit by Brad Lauer. Larry King takes a hard hit as he moved it around the boards. Renato had a chunk of him, and the long shot turned aside by Fitzpatrick. This is Pat LaFontaine. Played it right in front of the net to Diddick. Diddick moves it up the right side to Lauer. Spotted King moving in. Shot one high. That's grabbed by Van Beesbrook. Banks it off the boards, and the Rangers will start out. A minute and a half gone in the opening period as Renato dumps it in. Ranger forward line, Turcotte, Renato, and Troy Millette. Replaced now as Kissio comes out. Ryan Mullen out on the forward line along with O'Grodnik, and it's Gary King stepping over the Ranger line. King looks toward LaFontaine. Centers one. LaFontaine shot blocked. Big save by Van Beesbrook as he went down and slid off to his right. Over the Islander line, it's O'Grodnik now. Centered one that's broken up by Norton, and Flatley plays it up the boards for Derek King. King faced by Mullen as he gave it to Norton. Jeff Norton stepped over the line. Trying to move in around Bloomberg. First time the Rangers have had to go to their farm system. Now it's Flint Spirits to the International League. And Jeff Bloomberg got the call. This is Norton around to Flatley. Bloomberg and Leach together on the Ranger defense as Brent Sutter gave it to Volek. He's checked at center ice. Over the line on left wing is Brian Mullen. Big slap shot. He scores!
One of the strength areas of Mark Fitzpatrick becomes vulnerable. The first scoring opportunity by the Rangers. Mullen, from that angle, whistles it into the top right-hand corner. Here's O'Grodnik heading for the net. Mullen winds up and blisters it just inside the post. And it's a 1-0 lead on a tremendous blast by Mullen. His 7th goal of the season. And a 1-0 lead. You'd see Mark Fitzpatrick too far to his right on the play, exposing the left side of the net.
Now the Rangers right back in. James Patrick with a shot that's turned aside by Fitzpatrick. And Brent Sutter hit hard at the Islander blue line as he moves it up left wing for Randy Wood. Wood squeezed into the boards by Erickson. And here's Horshavu back to the Ranger net. Pass off his skate. Volek shoots. Van Beesbrook to save. Another save off Volek. Horshavu steps from back to the Ranger goal. Wood without a stick. Unable to get to him in time to do anything. Horshavu steps into the Islander zone with a pass that's broken up by Sutter. He's given it to Volek. Down to Wood. One man back. Andy Wood moves in. Bloomberg turned him around. Wood can't cut in from the left side. Volek gets tied up on the board. And the Rangers, Lindy Ruff, gets it out into the center ice zone. Horshavu trying to get it into the Islander territory. Erickson goes in after it. John Erickson with LaFontaine right on him. And Crossman steps in, and the puck goes to Baumgartner, and he couldn't move it out. Rangers unable to center it from the corner on this near side, and Pat LaFontaine feeds Henry, dumps it through center. Kerr after it. No chance to get to it at least. Now it gets checked in his own zone. Leach was there handling it, but nobody to give it to. Fontaine takes command, but Turcotte gets to the puck. And Turcotte moves it through center ice. The pass off Granado skates at the Islander blue line. Again, Baumgartner feeds it up the left wing to Dale Henry. Henry checks in his own zone. Baumgartner can't clear it out. Here's Turcotte with a shot. By Fitzpatrick. Turcotte centers it into the goal mouth and deflected wide. LaFontaine golfs it around the boards. Held in by Leach, and his shot went wide. Now Granado steps out of the corner. Puts it behind the Islander net. Millette can't center it. That's LaFontaine. Moves it to the blue line where it's knocked down. Held in. Granado's shot went wide of the net. Turcotte chasing it. Roy Millette, the other member of this forward line, and the puck came back to Brian Leach. That went wide of the Islander net. 4.5 minutes gone in the opening period. The Rangers leading 1-0. Center ice. Ryan Mullen has put it in the Islanders zone. It's cleared out by Doug Crossman. Mullen, who has the only goal, shot it off Dale Henry's skate. James Patrick drops it back for Horseville. Looks to the left side. Dakota took the man, and Crossman picks up a loose puck. Crossman using the boards for the pass to Don Maloney. Trying to get it to Dakota. Cleared right back into the Islander end of the ice. Crossman playing it back and forth with Gary Nyland.
The war of the words is breaking out. Let's go, Rangers. Islander fans trying to drown them out.
Now Dakota with a quick shot that deflected wide. Centered out in front by McDonough. The Rangers able to get to it and brought into the center ice zone. Brian Mullen goes to the right side for Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik on the top wing. Chased behind the net. Tied up by Nyland. Now Kissio feeds the point. Lindy Ruff for the shot that went wide. Ruff dropped back to play the left side. There's a pass right in front that's cleared inside by Fitzpatrick. Good play to Kissio.
What a nice scoring opportunity by Kissio. The long leg, the right leg of Fitzpatrick making the save.
Here's McDonough into the Rangers zone. Check. Kissio takes a hit from Dakota, but the Rangers have the puck. Over the line is Leach. A pass to Mullen. Looked toward Ogrodnik and fired one high. And the rebound right in front. Ogrodnik couldn't get a stick on it. Lindy Ruff dumps it around behind the net. Picked up by Gary Nyland. Pass works its way to Maloney. He can't handle it at center ice. This is Leach. Gave it to Sandstrom. Almost Sandstrom overled Dahlin at the Islander line, and Fitzpatrick leaves the puck for Diddick. Good non-stop action here. Both teams skating well, and the Rangers with a 1-0 lead. Diddick back at the Islander line. Moves it into the center ice area. Sandstrom and King tight on the boards, and it's Bollock freeing the puck. Outside pass for Flatley. Trying to poke it in around Horseville at the Ranger line, and could not. Now he gives it to David Bollock for a shot. That's just wide of Van Beesbrook. Slides out to cover it behind the net, sensing that both teams could use a play stoppage here.
Take another look at the goal by Mullen. Kissio getting an assist. You can see the shot here. Look at the position of the goaltender as it goes by his left shoulder into the top right-hand corner. Then just after that, Kelly Kissio with a deflection. Good stop. Mark Fitzpatrick with his right pad making a save as Kissio gets an opportunity from close in.
Now the face-off to Van Beesbrook's left. Owned by Brent Sutter. The shot by Gronstrand just skimmed the side of the Ranger net. Right up the right side to Sandstrom. He can't clear it out. Flatley gets checked. Dahlin with it. Turned it over to Bollock for a shot that's deflected by James Patrick. Horseville gets it to the Ranger line. Flatley got a piece of Chris King knocking him off balance. The Rangers step over the line with a long shot from Dahlin. Quick save by Fitzpatrick, and Flatley puts it back to the net. It's picked up by Jeff Norton. Norton, good pass to Bollock. Over at center ice, crowd reaction to the fact that referee Andy Van Helleman lost his balance and went down. And the Rangers force the Islanders back into their own end of the ice. Well, shooting the Islanders 6-3 and leading 1-0. Norton trying to play the puck into the Rangers zone. It's picked up and dropped back. Jansen's across the line on right wing. Shoots Fitzpatrick to save. Jansen's the rebound, and Fitzpatrick had it in the catching glove. Dropped it off for LaFontaine. He's given it to King. Now to Crossman. Doug Crossman, a neat move. Gage Lauer on the right side. One wide. Here's Derek King, and after it from a sharp angle. Put it across the front of the net. Crossman with a shot that's deflected. Ends up back of the goal, and the Rangers beat it up to Poshak. Poshak clearing the zone. John Erickson over the blue line. Waits for the man to cut in front. Centering pass covered by Fitzpatrick. He had dropped it off, and elected to hold on and get a face-off.
If he looks concerned, you're right. But he looks like that even when he's happy, when he's 8-1-1, but he's only won 4 of his last 14 hockey games, so Roger Nielsen is not too pleased.
Team had scored, well, with the goal tonight in the first period, it's now 9 in the last 20 periods. 21, including this game. We're not quite midway through the opening period here. LaFontaine off the far board, shot one wide. Baumgartner in after it. Got a poke at it. It comes to center ice for Derek King. Slipped away from Kissio. Steps over the line with 3 men, now 4 back. Gave it to LaFontaine. Neat move on Leach, but then the puck knocked away from him. He centers. Nothing doing, and Bloomberg takes a hit from King as he freed it up. Rodnick steps over the Islander line. Drop pass to Mullen, and the shot goes high and wide. Patrick trying to handle it as it came off the glass and lost it seemed, and now Maloney dumps it down into the Ranger end. This is John O'Grodnick. Leads it back to the right side to Kissio. Kissio bounces one into the Islanders' zone, and it's recovered there by Doug Crossman. Kerr, Maloney, and McDonough moving through center. It's Maloney dumping the puck in for the Islanders. Lindy Ruff after it. There's McDonough. Ruff played it around into the skates of Millette. On Maloney, tying up Millette and the puck. Maloney jabs it loose. McDonough after it. Ruff beat him to it and has given it to James Patrick. Played it through center off Renato, off Nyland as well, they rule, so there's no icing. And Fitzpatrick plays the left wing for Don Maloney. Maloney moves it away from Granato. Got it to McDonough. He's checked on the boards by Turcotte. So the Rangers start out of their zone with a 1-0 lead. Lindy Ruff cross ice to Turcotte. Turcotte gave it to Troy Millette. Good pass to Granato. The shot turned aside by Fitzpatrick. Now to Diddick. Diddick plays the right side. This is McDonough giving it to Kerr. Looks to the left wing. His pass to Maloney is broken up at the blue line. Bloomberg now to Turcotte. To Ruff. Right back to Jeff Bloomberg from Listowel, Ontario. Bloomberg dumping it in. Fitzpatrick playing the puck as we pass the midway point of the first period. This is Gary Nyland down the left side. Got it into the Rangers zone off Leach. And Bloomberg using the glass. Puts it right back into center ice. Diddick can't handle it there, and over the line they come. Erickson with a pass to Sandstrom. Goes cross ice to Leach, and it cuts through him. Andy Wood clears the zone. Leach bumped by LaFontaine, but Jansen's is there. Andy Wood checked him, and back goes Brian Leach, last year's Rookie of the Year in the National Hockey League. Bloomberg, right side, into the Islanders' zone, and Jansen trailing, gave him the puck. Centering pass is blocked. Bloomberg with it again. Flips one in front of the net. That's Sherry Gronstrand chasing it. Erickson ties him up. Puck comes out to center ice, and Sandstrom takes a look, steps into the Islanders' zone. Thomas Sandstrom looks at long reach, handling the puck. Feeds the blue line. James Patrick in front to Erickson, who's checked. Islanders failed to clear it out. Here's Sandstrom working it back. Erickson to Patrick. He shoots. He scores!
Mark Fitzpatrick vents some anger as the second Ranger goal gets in behind him. 9 minutes remaining in the period. It's 2-0 as the Rangers with some fine passes, most of them dropping back. As James Patrick rips the puck, it goes into the net to the left of the goaltender. It appeared by the actions of Mark Fitzpatrick that he did not see the puck as it went by him, but here are the Rangers outnumbering the Islanders in their own end of the ice, and James Patrick, you can see Gronstrand was there, along with Tony Granato, I believe, standing in front of the net, and it's a 2-0 lead.
A goal by Mullen, and now James Patrick with his 9th of the season, taking the Rangers to a 2-0 lead. Brent Sutter set up Bollock, trying to pass it back in the slot. There was nobody there for the Islanders. Take control again at center ice. Baumgartner dumping one wide of Van Beesbrook. Next one off the glass, and in Bollock at the blue line. Quick hit from Flatley, but Rodnick steps over center ice. The Islanders' zone, shot one from the far side of the grab, and lodges in the catching glove of Fitzpatrick long enough. They get a face-off. Rangers lead 2-0. You're watching New York Islanders hockey on Sports Channel.
James Patrick from Sundstrom and Horseshoe at the 11-minute mark. A 2-0 Ranger lead. The last time they played, these two teams exactly 1 week ago, 65 minutes of hockey and no goal.
Now as they line up for this face-off on the draw for the Rangers, Ulf Dolan. Sandstrom taking the puck here on the right side, ran into Islander defenseman Ken Baumgartner. Vakota clears the zone. Long pass to Don Maloney. Can't poke it over the Ranger line. Now Vakota dumps one in. And it's Ryan Leach handling it. Gonna chase him back in the net. Leach moves it up the left side, through center. Rolls on into the Islanders' zone, not far enough for icing. Baumgartner back on the play. And Baumgartner with Sandstrom moving in. Plays it to the left side to Maloney, to Baumgartner. That's Dahlin chasing him back of the net. The Islanders turn it over. Rangers, Sandstrom can't make the play. Now he rids himself of the pesky work of McDonough, only to lose the puck. And Maloney fires it out to center ice. Lindy Ruff back for it. Look at the long list of Ranger injuries right now. To have lost Randy Moeller the other evening for probably the next month. It's certainly a crimp in their lineup. David Shaw re-injuring himself. Rochefort not ready to get into the action.
Mark Hardy gets a knee injury.
Of course, the veteran Ron Greshner is battered and bruised, but he can't play. They're up 2-0 on the Islanders as Turcotte moves in, only to have his pass intercepted by LaFontaine. He worked it out to center ice. Dakota in the middle of the player change with Brad Lauer, who seemed to lose his stick at the bench. Now gets into the play as Nyland goes back to the net. Up to LaFontaine, tried to jab it to King. It's cross ice instead and intercepted. Up wide by Granato, and the Islanders having all kinds of trouble moving out of their own zone. Good forecheck job put up by the Rangers here, and they control the puck. This is Turcotte. His shot turned aside by Fitzpatrick. Fontaine feeds right wing. Well, the Rangers either did play it or could have. Doesn't go far enough for icing anyway. 6.5 minutes remaining in the opening period as Patrick got tipped up by King. Now Horsula is there. Banks it off the glass, down into the Islanders' zone. We're going to get an icing as Nyland will go back for it. Rangers lead the Islanders 2-0. Yeah, the Rangers are out shooting the Islanders 15-4. There's a very good indication as to the flow and balance of the play here in the first period. Norton with a long shot. It went off flatly. Right to Van Beesbroek. Banks it up along the glass. Norton pinched in. And the puck played away from him.
It just appears that the Rangers are a more intense team at this point than the Islanders.
Rangers have been off since Wednesday. The Islanders played last night in Washington. In fact, this is the fourth game in the last 5 nights, I believe it is, for the Islanders.
Back-to-back with the New Jersey Devils, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Nobody's using that as a crutch or an excuse. The Islanders go in offside at the Ranger blue line. Back-to-back games this season, the Islanders had a terrible record on the second night. A win and 6 losses. The only win was here at the Nassau Coliseum when they came home after opening on the road. Opening night, that is the first of back-to-backs. They're 4-3-1, but 1-6-0. This is only the second time that they've played the second half of a back-to-back at home.
They're glad to have Flatley back. Patrick Flatley, 7 goals, 20 assists, right behind LaFontaine. I shouldn't say right behind. He's exactly 10 points back of Pat LaFontaine, but having his best start this season until he broke a bone. It was right at the knuckle of the baby toe, just in back of it. But he's playing anyway.
You can get the skate on, you can play, huh?
Well, the way he plays, yes.
Rodstrand back to poke the puck loose in the Islanders' zone, and it bobbled its way to Randy Wood, now to LaFontaine. They're trailing as they play it to the left side to Wood. Back to Jeff Norton. That's one into toward the corner. LaFontaine able to get it to Wood, comes out in front, held it, then lost it in the slot, and Ogrodnik feeds it out to Kissio. Billy Kissio dumps one into the Islanders' zone. It comes loose. Kerr puts it in the corner, and Ronstrand gets double teamed. The Rangers up with it. Kissio centers off Ogrodnik and out through center ice. James Patrick drops back. Got it right back again from Lindy Ruff with a little less than 5 minutes to go in the opening period. 15 shots on goal for the Rangers. Here's James Patrick. Drop pass, and Ogrodnik had it deflected. Rossman plays it away from Erickson, but Ruff holds it at the point, dumps it around behind the net. Play called. LaFontaine is involved here. Scuffling in the far corner. He and Mark Jansen's not pleased with the presence of either one.
Roughing penalties to LaFontaine and Jansen's of the Rangers. I suppose a small victory for the Rangers and Jansen's when you think that he's got 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points, and he's going to spend the next 2 minutes in the penalty box with a player who has 22 goals and 15 assists.
Yeah, you get LaFontaine off the ice here, you have to consider that you've done a portion of your job. You go back to that goal by James Patrick. Thomas Sampson getting the assist. We mentioned at the start of the game how he'd gone 5 without a point. We got him going, didn't we?
We do have a habit of that.
Oh, yeah. Now, who do you want to talk about next? Let's see.
Well, Andy Van Hellemond fell on the ice earlier.
Probably got all the winnings from the afternoon in his hip pocket and a little overweighted down there. Here we go. Now we got a fight now. Nick Vakota and Rudy Poshak. The boys are still playing with the puck. Nick is beating a tattoo on Rudy.
Going to try and lift him up. There we go.
Man. And Nick just isn't going to give up here. The linesmen, Dan McCourt and Shane Heyer, had to pull them apart. And Nick hits that fist on. It's like a jackhammer. Bang, 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 bang. And he found a willing combatant in the person of Rudy Poshak.
Remember the old train movies with the cowboys and the piston and the engine? That's Nick Vakota's right hand. Well, the Rangers get the extra point penalty minutes. 2 and 5 for Rudy Poshak. And for the Islanders, Nick Vakota gets 5 minutes here from the faceoff. On the right side, you can see number 12, Nick Vakota, goes over to the defenseman. Then he gets a run by Poshak, and they say, well, listen, things aren't going that well. We're not getting a lot of ice time. Let's test each other for the first time now. The extra 2 minutes gets John Ogrodnik into the penalty box with Rudy.
On the season, the Islander power play good only twice on 13 chances against the Rangers. Right now, the Islander power play, 6th overall in the league. The Ranger penalty killing is 11th overall.
It's a long way from 21st. Hard to remember when they were the worst penalty killing team or unit in the league.
That's one of the most improved areas with the Islanders in recent weeks. On defense, Crossman and Norton. Up front, Sutter, Volek, and Flatley. Norton with the pass up the ice for Flatley. Turned it into the Ranger zone. Brent Sutter goes in after it. Sutter played it away from Horshaven. Well, now Flatley skates at the side of the net. Flatley to Brent Sutter. Put it in the slot. And that's cleared to the line. Norton held it in. Erickson is the man who had cleared it. Now Sutter gets to the puck. It comes to Norton at the right point. Puts it behind the Ranger goal. Van Beesbrook out to handle it. Sutter knocked it out of the air. And Sutter into Patrick Flatley. Flatley does not park behind the net, but carries the play on through to the corner. Now up the boards. Back into Volek. David Volek trying to get away from Horshaven. And Erickson steps in front of Volek. Flatley comes back to handle the puck. Patrick Flatley into the corner to Sutter. Knocked it down and gets tied up along the boards. Feeds it to Norton. It goes to Volek. David Volek trying to slip the check of Erickson. Gives it to Jeff Norton to Doug Crossman. Crossman with a shot. That hit Flatley in front of the net. Ends up in the corner. Patrick battling Flatley. The puck goes to David Volek. 42 seconds in the power play. Back to Norton for the drive. Tipped in front off the post. The red light is on. No goal. The organist doesn't have the message, and the Islanders come back into their own end of the ice to recover the puck.
And the goal judge is waving no goal also. He made a mistake.
So it continues. A 2-0 Ranger lead, and they've dumped it the length of the ice. It's Patrick out of the net, leaving it there for Jeff Norton. Norton goes to the right side with a pass to McDonough. Steps over the Ranger line. Knocked off his stick by Leach. And after it now is Lauer trying to tie up Bloomberg. Cannot. Diddick puts it back in the net. Here's Lauer. Teams are at 6 aside again. The Islanders with only one shot on goal with the man advantage. Diddick from the blue line. Shoots. That one wide of the net. Norton trying to pinch in. Got a piece of it. It's held in now by King. But he can't get it to a teammate. And now comes Tony Granato. Granato puts it into the Islander end of the ice. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first period. Rangers up 2-0 on goals by Mullen and Patrick. This is Brad Lauer. Loses it on the right wing. Can't make the play, however, is Lindy Ruff standing right in his face. This is Nyland. The King. Back to Diddick. Up now to McDonough. Trying to play it around Ruff. Over to Derek King. He shoots. Kicked out by Van Beesbrook. The rebound by McDonough. Sails high. Derek King gets to it. King drops it into the corner. There's another Ranger penalty call coming as Patrick handles the puck. Referee Andy Van Hellemond with his arm up in the air, and the Islanders will have another power play opportunity before the period comes to a close. Is it Van Beesbrook he's got ticketed?
I believe it is. He keeps pointing at Van Beesbrook, and Van Beesbrook is saying, are you kidding? And Van Hellemond saying 2 minutes. And I thought it was a roughing signal at first, He keeps pointing. 2 minutes. He's pointing in the direction of Van Beesbroek, still looking at him. So I believe with the penalty, the face-off going outside, it's definitely to the Rangers. High sticking is the call on John Van Beesbroek. One of the Islanders was camped just to the left of Van Beesbroek as they buzzed around his net. He got the stick up too high. And John O'Grodnick is the designated sitter again, as he was a moment ago when Rudy Poschek got a 2-minute penalty along with his 5. Here's the shot a moment ago. McDonough trying, went off the handle of his stick. That's the save that goaltenders like to talk about there with the high stick on the Islander forward. There was a deflection off the goalpost to the left of Van Beesbroek. Look at him chase the puck as it goes across the goal line, comes out on the other side. Got a penalty. It's already 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining in John Van Beesbroek's penalty, and they haven't dropped the puck. They were going to face off outside. That's what made me think it was an Islander at first, but now they've got the face-off back in the Island, or in the Rangers' end of the ice, excuse me. Van Beesbroek's name for high sticking up on the matrix board.
Suppose he's been talking to John Davidson recently. It wasn't really a J.D. move there, though, in the goal crease, was it?
No, John never had to worry about that. His arms were longer than most of the goaltender's sticks.
And still are. And the pockets even deeper than they used to be.
Oh,
just kidding. Just kidding. The Islanders with their second man advantage of the period. Norton backs into his own zone, feeds LaFontaine. Through his skates and is picked up now by Brent Sutter. Back to Norton. The Islanders had only one shot on goal in their first power play chance, and now Norton dumps one in off the boards. Leach gets to it. It was met by Volek, and the puck goes out of play. Now these two teams don't meet one another until the 2nd of March. That's when the Islanders go to Madison Square Garden, and the Rangers repay the visit here on Saturday afternoon, March 17th. On time from the 16th of December till the 2nd of March.
Yes, and David Volek, something I noticed the first shift of the hockey game, he was trying to shoot the puck each time he was inside the Rangers' blue line, trying to shoot it at the net. In the second and third shift, he seemed to revert back to making a pass rather than making a play at the Ranger goal.
Islanders fail to get set up at the Ranger blue line, so they'll start from deep in their own zone. Crossman with it to LaFontaine. Doug Crossman to Volek. Volek trying to dump one in. It's flagged out of the air. Janssens can't clear it. Now it goes off Volek. Ends up in center ice for Sutter. To Crossman. To Jeff Norton. Norton over the Ranger line with a pass that's broken up and cleared out to center ice. One-on-one with it is Kissio working on Crossman. Kelly Kissio's shot is wide. Fitzpatrick plays it as it came off the boards, and out comes David Volek. Over to Norton. Norton steps across the Ranger line. Being watched by Horseva. Out to Sutter. Finds its way onto Crossman's stick. To LaFontaine. To Crossman. Into LaFontaine. Holds it. Feeds Crossman. Green sets up. Crossman shot. Stick saved by Van Beesbroek. This is David Volek walking out of the corner with a drive off the side of the net. And Kissio gets the rebound and dumps it down the ice. Mark Fitzpatrick moves it on to Crossman. Then Norton, and that's going to do it for the period. Not enough time for a rush. And the Rangers hit the Islanders with a deuce in the first period. Mullen and Patrick. Mullen fooling Mark Fitzpatrick at the 2:32 mark. And the Rangers, who spent most of yesterday's practice working on the power play, don't get a chance to put it to work in the first period. The Islanders had the only power play opportunities, and it's the Rangers with the lead. At the end of one, the New York Rangers 2, the New York Islanders no score. We'll be back with a recap and our intermission following these messages.
Let's get into the highlights now and take a look at some of the action from the first period. First was a goal, and that was scored by Mullen on a hard, blistering drive, but a bad angle played by the goaltender. That's the kind of a shot that should never make it into the net. Mark Fitzpatrick realizes, but Mullen doesn't care. Kissio assisted on his 7th goal of the season. The Islanders in possession of the puck in the center ice area. As Brent Sutter drops it, John O'Grodnick bounces the puck to the left side. It's picked up. Mullen blasted in. Are you telling me on the official score that Kissio gets an assist? Wrong. It's O'Grodnick. And don't argue with me, anybody. John O'Grodnick took the puck away in the center ice area, knocked it away, Mullen finished it with his 7th of the season. That was at 2:32 early in the game, and a 1-0 lead. And then it was James Patrick. He described it to Stan Fischler moments ago, but here Horseva teams up along with Sandstrom to get the puck back to James Patrick. As they set up the screen in front, the Islanders helping out there with Jari Gronstrand along with Janssens. A hard shot by Patrick, his 9th of the season at the 11-minute mark. Sandstrom and Horseva, as I had mentioned, assisting on Patrick's 9th, and the Rangers take a 2-0 lead. Look at the balance, the shot. It's low and it's hard, and it's a late reaction by the goaltender. You see him look back, look up, gives Janssens a tap with the stick. He had been screened on the play, but it was a 2-0 lead. The Islanders were not without scoring opportunities, and one of them went off the goal post. Jeff Norton, as he takes the shot, it's low and hard. Deflected in front, watch it off the goal post to the left. Van Beesbrook twists around, turns, watches the puck trickle away, gets some help from his defenders. A good opportunity for the Islanders to get one on the board, but it was not to be. In the first goal, it was clear that John Ogrodnik had deflected the puck in the center ice area over to the left wing side, where Mullen streaked in and blasted it by Mark Fitzpatrick. And so far, we haven't been told that Ogrodnik, who has been in the penalty box twice in the first period and hasn't received the penalty, he's the designated sitter for tonight's game.
Still 22 seconds remaining. You see the time counting down, and that's in the minor penalty to Rudy Poshek. He and Nick Lakota fighting majors. Poshek, the instigator, and the Islanders with the man advantage. Can't do anything in the Ranger end of the ice. And the penalty is all but over now. As Norton backs it across the zone blue line, gave it to Crossman. To David Volek over the Ranger line, surrounded by blue shirts, and it's picked up by Patrick. Teams at 6 aside. The Islanders 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Trailing 2-0 as Ogrodnik steps over the Islander blue line. Pulls to the right wing. Finds an opening. Shoots. Fitzpatrick, the glove save, and there's no further play.
John Ogrodnik, what a season he's having. One of the biggest reasons is that he's skating so well. That time he grabbed the puck to the Rangers end of the ice, raced through center ice, crossed from the left side over to the right side in front of Jeff Norton, whistled a quick wrist shot that Mark Fitzpatrick caught. Creating opportunities for himself, opening up some ice for his teammates.
Now McDonough out with Maloney and Kerr for the Islanders. Kelly Kissio with Ogrodnik on the left side, moving in for this face-off. Ryan Mullen on the right wing. The draw came back to the blue line, and Bloomberg's shot was turned aside by Fitzpatrick. Ryan Leach placed one off Kissio's stick. There's Maloney turning it up the middle to McDonough, to Kerr, and the pass got through him. Gary Nyland dumps one in. The Ranger defense trying to move it out. Bloomberg chases it back to the net, taking it from Van Beesbrook, then dumps it to the near corner. Ogrodnik coming back in the play and shoved off the puck. McDonough puts it back in the net. This is Don Maloney, who had 2 goals in last night's Islander win at Washington. And Ogrodnik now through center ice into the Islander zone. John Ogrodnik slips one in front. That's cleared by Diddick. James Patrick blows in from the point. A shot off the shoulder of Fitzpatrick. Ends up back of the net. Gary Nyland will chase it down. Nyland bumped by Kissio. He gave the puck to Maloney. Out it goes to Alan Kerr. Kerr works his way across the line, trying to get Horseva to come toward him. Alan Kerr plays it back to the net to McDonough. Close range, turned aside by Van Beesbrook, and the rebound knocked loose. Finds its way to Kissio, then Derek King knocked it down. Picks it up and played it through Baumgartner back into the Islander zone. Kenny Baumgartner took his eye off the puck.
He was watching the Rangers changing on the fly. He wanted to make a quick move, and he wanted to be sure it was in the right direction. Forgot the puck.
Now the Rangers in their own zone, and Horseva plays it down the boards. Doug Crossman waiting for it. Gave it to LaFontaine. Played it between Crossman and Baumgartner. Now Baumgartner spots Crossman up the left side to King, to LaFontaine with some speed across the Ranger line, cutting it on Van Beesbrook. He shoots. Van Beesbrook's a save, and the rebound was there. Lauer couldn't get it teed up. Now Derek King gets tied up on the board. Lauer sneaks in, digs the puck loose, back to Crossman. It's knocked off his stick and ends up at center ice. Baumgartner plays it to the Ranger line. Down comes Turcotte. Turcotte trying to get around Baumgartner. A backhand shot is wide, and Baumgartner got a chunk of Turcotte after the shot. Rangers playing it deeper into the Islander zone. That's cleared up by Baumgartner, and Leach will handle it at center ice to Millette. Goes to the right side. Here's Darren Turcotte with a quick shot. Saved by Fitzpatrick. LaFontaine and Crossman going for both the man and the puck over in the far corner. They have Millette all smothered on the boards. And finally, LaFontaine feeds it up to Lauer. Brad Lauer fires it in wide of the net. LaFontaine in after it. Pushed Leach off the puck. There's going to be a penalty to LaFontaine. Back they come. Chris King over the Islander line. Lets Fitzpatrick handle it. That'll get the power play going for the first time tonight. But wait a minute. Bronstrand and King are shoving at one another. LaFontaine is the man ticketed for the penalty box.
A long shift for Pat LaFontaine. He gets a scoring opportunity. What a move here on Horseshoe. He freezes him into his own defense partner. Leach walks in, goes to his backhand, lets the shot go. What a move here. Good stop by Van Beesbrook. Lauer couldn't put the rebound in. And here, with a cross-check on Leach, knocking him down, Pat LaFontaine trying to get to the puck. He gets a penalty and a power play for the New York Rangers.
And the story, of course, in the last week or more has been the Ranger power play. 1 goal in the last 27 chances. Had only 1 shot with 7 chances against St. Louis on Wednesday night.
Their power play was ranked first in the league after 12 games into the season.
And has dropped dramatically. It's Kitsio. Tries to move the puck. This is the situation they want to develop. Patrick and Leach at the point. Leach to James Patrick. Back to Leach. Feeds it in deeper to Kitsio. Tried to put it in the slot. It's broken up and brought out by Norton. Ogrodnik waiting for it. Now Patrick gets decked. There'll be another Islander penalty. James Patrick getting up slowly. And Beesbrook goes to the Ranger bench as Leach carries the puck. He's given it to Sandstrom on left wing. Dumps it in. They'll force a face-off in the Islander zone, and they'll have a 2-man advantage here. Maloney complaining to referee Andy Van Helleman. Van Helleman.
High sticking seems to be the signal. He knocked the helmet off of James Patrick. Patrick stood up trying to challenge Jeff Norton. And Norton got the stick up around the head of Patrick, knocked him down, knocked the helmet off, and now the officials are over to the bench checking on him. Of course, the Islanders have to be hoping that he's not cut in any way. He could have a broken neck, and he just gets 2 minutes for high sticking, but if he's cut, Norton's out of the game. Look at this. Wham! Brought the stick up quickly. Now we have to wait for the interpretation by Andy Van Helleman.
Islander penalty number 8, Jeff Norton.
It is only a minor penalty on Norton. Brent Sutter and Kelly Kitsio listening to Andy Van Helleman's interpretation, but it is a 2-man advantage for 1 minute and 25 seconds for the Rangers. There's James Patrick being attended to by Dave Smith over at the Ranger bench.
You have to know there's some palpitations going on to our right down here where Neil Smith is sitting, and another one of his defensemen going off the ice slowly, just getting off the ice with what could easily be an injury, but he seems to be all right.
Islanders do have a habit of running into this kind of situation. It's the 10th time this season that they have been 2 men short. And you consider that this is, the 35th game. That's far too many cases like this. Darcy Regier and Hal Arbor knocking it over.
And when you think about it, it's in the center ice area. Jeff Norton had control of the puck. He shot it down the ice. He could have easily just relaxed and run into Patrick. He may not have been able to get away from him, but to bring the stick up across the back of his head is not thinking.
Brent Sutter, Crossman, and Flatley for the Islanders as the Rangers got it back to Leach. Into Kitsio to Leach. Leach to Kitsio. Backs in, feeds the blue line. This is Leach. Went to the right side, and Turcotte's shot went way wide. Comes back to Leach. To Darren Turcotte. Can't reach it. Flatley over. Can't knock it away from the Ranger forward. Rodnick gets checked in the corner, and Brent Sutter plays it around behind the net to Doug Crossman. Can he find an opening? No, can't get it out of there. Now Leach can't hold it in. Battle for it at center ice. Turcotte backs away from Brent Sutter. Was off balance. Moves the puck to the right side. This is Kelly Kitsio. Kitsio can't center. It comes loose down and shot wide of the net. Sandstrom at Fitzpatrick at his mercy, it appears. This is Kelly Kitsio feeding the point for Turcotte. Into Sandstrom, or Ogrodnik, back to Turcotte. So Ogrodnik, Sandstrom parked in front of the net. They feed Turcotte at the blue line. Fake once, move to the cross ice to Leach. Into the skates of Ogrodnik. Back to Turcotte. Lets one go. That's blocked by Flatley. Got Turcotte down. Here's Leach centering. Ogrodnik with a shot that missed. Comes back to Brian Leach. Into the corner to Sandstrom. Centers one across. Nobody there for the Rangers. Turcotte picks it out of the corner. 10 seconds left in the first penalty. Turcotte gets checked by Flatley. Here's Brian Leach. Moves right in. Shoots. Is deflected high and out of play.
Wow, and I'm surprised that Andy Van Hellemond didn't spot. Somebody shot somebody's stick. I think he's going to give a penalty. He's asking now McCourt, the linesman, how did that hockey stick get out there? Because if it was a Ranger that shot the stick out, it was an Islander stick, Flatley, it could be a penalty. But I don't see Van Hellemond heading over to the off-ice officials' bench. One of the Rangers shot the stick out. It may have been a broken stick. Here, Brian Leach with a good scoring opportunity. He moves in. It deflected off somebody's stick. Sutter's stick. He deflected it wide. What a job by the Islanders' penalty killers. Sandstrom had a good opportunity, and he blisters it. Good stop by Mark Fitzpatrick as Kissio tries to control the puck. What a job by the captain, Brent Sutter, and Flatley. Flatley out there with a broken foot, and shots are flying all over the place. He went down to block a shot twice while they were 2 men short.
Al LaFontaine is out of the penalty box. Leach with a shot. That's their first shot with the power play. And the second turned aside by Fitzpatrick. 26 seconds remaining in the penalty to Jeff Norton, and the Islanders are able to clear the zone. Listen to this crowd now.
The Islanders need something to get them going. This is the kind of a thing that'll do it. There's only 15 seconds now remaining in the second penalty. That's to Jeff Norton.
The Rangers moving through center ice, led by Brian Leach, who steps over the line. Goes to the left wing corner. Plays one around the boards. It goes to McDonough and down the ice.
And that was not McDonough's stick he used. He lost his stick. He grabbed anybody's off the bench. Looked like a right-handed shot.
Well, they kill off the 1 minute, 25 second two-man advantage. Only one shot on goal officially for the Rangers with those 2 power plays. Still 2-0. The Rangers leading the Islanders here at the Nassau Coliseum. Riddick pushed into the boards heavily. There'll be a penalty on the play. Troy Millette is going to go to the penalty box. The Islanders get an opportunity now with a power play coming up.
Troy Millette gets a penalty. He rode Gerald Riddick into the boards. Gave him a little extra, gets a penalty for it, and the Islanders go to the power play. What a good idea here for a goal. Here's Millette as he rides him in using the forward motion of Gerald Riddick, and he slammed him into the boards. A boarding penalty, power play. The Islanders just coming off a great penalty kill. 2 of them in a row. Actually, 2 men short is what I'm trying to say. What a lift here. They could do themselves a big favor.
Well, that off for boarding as Norton and Crossman play the points. LaFontaine, Lauer, and King up front. Jeff Norton lugs the puck into the center ice zone. Gave it to Pat LaFontaine. He's over the Ranger line. Fake one. Cuts right in. Shoots, and it just went wide. He had Van Beesbrook down as well and couldn't tap it off. Now from back of the net, Lauer fails to pick up a loose puck. And James Patrick forces the Islanders into their own zone.
Twice now, Pat LaFontaine has been in on John Van Beesbrook with his own effort, and that time he shot it wide.
Crossman bangs it in from center ice. And rattling around the boards out of Lauer's skates. Crossman after it. It's knocked away from him by Janssens. Janssens and Erickson up front. They have Lindy Ruff and James Patrick on defense. Now Brian Leach has come out on the ice for the Rangers. Derek King with a give and go with LaFontaine. King picks it up again in the corner. Ruff backed into him. King feeds it behind the net. That's Brent Sutter to the blue line. Held in by Norton. Fed LaFontaine to Jeff Norton. Norton pulling to the right. Fed it back then. Sutter's shot is turned aside by Van Beesbrook. This is Derek King through some traffic, and he lost the handle on it. It's turned down into the Islanders' zone by Brian Mullen.
Penalty killers love it when you get that close to them, trying to stick handle your way to the net.
Half a minute in the Islander power play. Brent Sutter has given it to Crossman. The Sutter cuts in off right wing, rounds the net with it. Fed it through the slot off LaFontaine's stick. That's LaFontaine goes to the corner. Crossman there as well. Now Sutter holds it on right wing. Into LaFontaine. Back to the point. Norton calling for it. Takes a look. Fed LaFontaine. Walks out of the corner. A backhander. Good stop by Van Beesbrook. Here's David Volek. Volek to LaFontaine. Steps away from Leach. Gave it to Volek. Volek turning to get Leach out of position. Feeds Norton. Teams at 6 aside. And the puck blocked. And comes out to center ice. Still 2-0. Volek in a struggle for it with Millette. Norton coming back on the play, feeds it up the left side, held in by James Patrick. Here's Kelly Kissio for the Rangers. It slipped off his stick and is brought down the right side by McDonough. McDonough trying to get a step on Horcheva, can't cut in. It gets through LaFontaine as well, and there's Kissio. Kelly Kissio to Millette. He couldn't handle it. Nyland plays it up the boards, and Mullen slaps it out of the air. Backboard is Crossman, now to McDonough. Hubie McDonough, the hero of last night's Islander win at Landover. The Islanders playing it into the Rangers zone, and Van Beesbrook slaps it off the glass. It's cleared by Brian Mullen. That'll end up deep in the Islanders zone, and as Nyland puts a stick on it, a whistle for icing against the Rangers. They lead the Islanders 2-0 at the Nassau Coliseum. You're watching New York Islanders hockey on Sports Channel.
Kane continues to get his scoring opportunities. The Islanders, look at the fake here. What a move by LaFontaine. Walks in, is shot just wide to the right of John Van Beesbrook in the goalpost. Norton to LaFontaine. He pulls it out in front. The quick moves, the quick hands, the puck control of Pat LaFontaine.
Talked about the Rangers having only one shot with the man advantage. The Islanders, with their power play, managed only one shot. Maloney pushed away from the side of the net. You saw Vakota come in.
You look for certain things in hockey games, and killing off a two-man advantage for the length of time the Islanders were 2 men short. What a job they did. That usually gives a team a tremendous lift, and to only get one shot on goal when you get a power play right behind it, almost unforgivable. Nick Vakota got a little nick. Nick got nicked. Probably the helmet slid down over his forehead and caught him on the nose.
The first 21 games this season, Nick Vakota had 51 penalty minutes. In the last 13 games, he's had 122. And an assist last night at Landover. And you saw the numbers, 4 goals, 2 assists for Nick the Quick. It's on the left side. McDonough's in the middle and Don Maloney on the right. Maloney pushes the puck to McDonough, comes out with a wraparound that runs right across the goal mouth. Maloney was there but couldn't get a stick on it. Now comes back to Crossman. Over Maloney's head. Leach takes it back to the net. Dakota chases him, tied him up, and McDonough steals the puck to Maloney, and he couldn't get a stick on it. Good play by McDonough. Fine play, really, by Bloomberg. And now Vakota's shot is blocked, and here's Leach. Up to Sandstrom, shoots from outside the line. That just missed. Rolling off the mesh at the back of the net. Baumgartner can't play it up the board. Sandstrom centers one, and the quick shave was the glove save. Right in front with a wicked shot was Dolan. He must think he's been snake-bitten.
He had 6 goals in his first 7 games, and his 36 shots on goal. He has not scored a goal in 22-plus games now. And what a stop off him there as Mark Fitzpatrick. They don't talk about the way Thomas Sandstrom can shoot the puck. He can whistle it. Here's Sandstrom in control. His play to the front of the net. Dolan lets it fly. That's on target. Coming up with the catching mitt, Mark Fitzpatrick smoothly takes the scoring opportunity away from the Rangers. Alf Dolan there. That was on target. Ken Baumgartner has gone to the Islanders' dressing room. He went into the penalty box, and then, knowing that he had more time to serve than there is on the clock, 4 seconds difference. There's 9 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the second period. He got a 10-minute misconduct penalty, so he's gone to the dressing room, and he'll watch it and listen from there.
Teams at 6 aside. LaFontaine against Turcotte on this draw. Goals by Mullen and Patrick in the first period. The Rangers lead 2-0. Lindy Ruff back in defense has given it to James Patrick. Now to Ruff. Cross-ice pass intercepted. LaFontaine couldn't hold on to it, however, and Turcotte feeds it to the left wing. The Rangers with one of those wraparound passes to Turcotte. Puts it back to the net. Renato bumping Fitzpatrick in his pursuit of the puck, and the Islanders are able to clear it to center ice. Lindy Ruff gives it to Patrick. Back to Ruff. Look at the acquisition of Ruff. Think of all the injuries, and go back to last season. What a plus he's turned out to be.
To be a good left winger and a good defenseman all in one body.
Alan Kerr now shot the puck wide of the Ranger goal. Randy Wood trying to play it in deeper. Rangers moving around the boards, but not out. Here's Diddick with a shot. Off his stick in front. They bang at it. The rebound is score. LaFontaine.
In the eyes of the Islander fans, justice has been served. Pat LaFontaine has done everything but put the puck in the net. He finally gets his opportunity, but it took them 2 tries. Yes, the Islanders are up. The fans are up. Can they keep it going? Can they keep the level up? The Islanders steal a puck, keep the play alive, and the Rangers end of the ice, and Pat LaFontaine, his 23rd goal of the season. There's the backhand by Kerr, and then finally on his own rebound, LaFontaine has eased a lot of the pressure the fans were feeling. Here's the sequence as LaFontaine stopped originally by Van Biesbroek, but he got his own rebound and put it up high.
First goal the Rangers have given up to the Islanders since November 12th. Flatley scored 2 in the first period, and they came so close to tying it right there.
Brent Sutter with a tip in. What a stop by Van Biesbroek.
Now Ogrodnik is pushed off the puck by Nyland. Diddick takes his man down, and there will be a tackling penalty on Gerald Diddick. Diddick for holding sets up a Ranger power play.
Game starting to resemble what we saw a week ago, end-to-end action. Look at the stop here. What a play by John Van Biesbroek, stretching out his left pad, timing it perfectly. Back at the other end, Gerald Diddick takes a scoring chance away from the Rangers and gets a holding penalty, a power play for the New York Rangers. It'll be their 3rd of the hockey game.
On the draw here, the Rangers controlling the puck, and James Patrick is taken off the play. Leach held it in to Kissio, centered, but right to Brad Lauer. Lauer and Sutter come to center. Leach and Patrick drop back. Lauer's shot knocked the stick out of Leach's hand. There's Patrick putting it back to the goal. Leach recovers the stick and the puck. Feeds it up to Patrick, now to Ogrodnik. Now Ogrodnik over the Islander line, checking his options, had to go back for the puck. Plays it in deeper. This is James Patrick. Over to Leach. To Patrick. Lets one fly, and it's tipped wide by Ogrodnik. The Rangers saying they have to move the puck quicker, but they were taking a lot of time with those passes, and now it's dumped down the ice.
One of the concerns of the coaches is now, because when you have 2 targets, or at least 2 good point men on the power play, and Patrick and Leach, penalty killers tend to pay closer attention. They don't get the time to handle the puck that they used to.
Fans counting or chanting defense. Rangers up with a power play. Kissio across the line, lost it. This is Gary Nyland. He's checked back in the net and recovers to knock it away from Kissio. Don Maloney tries it off the boards, but can't clear it out. It bounces off McDonough to Leach. He's checked by Crossman. Leach gets to it again. Brian Leach looks for Ogrodnik, centers it across. It's blocked in front and backhanded just out of Sandstrom's reach. Thomas Sandstrom comes back to the point. Left it for Brian Leach. Closes in with a shot. Big save by Fitzpatrick, and it comes bouncing right back to Leach. 24 seconds in the power play. Leach got it wide and sent it for Sandstrom. Nyland muscles him into the corner, pushed him off the puck. Sandstrom recovers and lost it to Don Maloney. Maloney's pass goes to McDonough. Giving McDonough over the Ranger line. Leach checked him. In comes Crossman. Crossman takes it from McDonough. Shoots one off the pads of Van Biesbroek. Now Crossman centers in front. They score!
Don Maloney has the puck go off him. Crossman in deep. He and Yuri McDonough. It's an even straight goal. The penalty was just over. Crossman, what a smart hockey play by Crossman. He kept going with the puck, knowing that if he controlled it, the penalty was going to be over. It went off Don Maloney. It's a tied hockey game. Look at Crossman. He's a smart player. He realizes that he can go deep. He stays deep. He takes a shot from an angle that Van Biesbroek handles easily. But watch in front as he flips the puck to the front of the net. There, it goes off Don Maloney, and it's a 2-2 tie. His 5th goal of the season, 3rd in 2 games for Don Maloney, and the Islanders have made it a brand new hockey game.
Scored at 13:23. Now LaFontaine sets up Derek King, and he can't get a stick on it. Lost his balance, and Lindy Ruff cleared it out. There's Ronstrand playing it to the Ranger line. Up comes Jansen for the pass to Erickson. John Erickson moves in on Ronstrand, turns, centers one. They bang at it in front. It came off the stick of Chris King. And LaFontaine sends Kerr over center. He put it in the Ranger zone. Now applauding Don Maloney. 3rd goal. Last 2 games, in just under 6 minutes to play in the second period, the score even at 2. And looking right back to the Ranger zone. Offside being relayed here. Fontaine clears the area. Now comes Lindy Ruff. McDonough gets an assist along with Crossman on Maloney's goal. Now Nick Lakota is over the Ranger line. His pass tipped by James Patrick. Patrick tying up Maloney. On Maloney, reaching in, knocked it away from Patrick. Here's LaFontaine from back of the net. Beats the blue line. Harry Nyland with a shot that deflected. Goes right to Lakota, and he slapped it off Lindy Ruff. In comes Diddick from the right point. He's freed it up for Maloney. In front to Diddick. Couldn't get a stick on it. Nyland charges in from the blue line. Shoots one that deflected wide. McDonough started in, now backs up, and the Rangers cleared out to center ice. Diddick working the glass, forcing Ruff to turn and go back. In comes Lakota. They're checking as Lakota, giving the Islanders a chance to move back in here. Bodies going bang, bang on the boards. And finally, Chris King gives it to Erickson, now to James Patrick. Patrick throws things up, gives the Rangers a chance to change on the fly. Here comes Jeff Norton with a pass to Gary Gronstrand to Mick Lakota. Dumps it into the Ranger zone. And Eastbrook laying it up the boards. Let's go Islanders. The chance you hear in the background. The Ranger fans will pick up their own. Roy Millette able to hold on to it and cleared it into the center ice area. You would swear we're in the middle of April. Or better yet, the month of May, and these two teams battling for Lord Stanley's mug. It's only mid-December, and here's Norton charging right into the Ranger zone with a shot, and Eastbrook to save. And Sutter with it now. Sutter winds up. Hits the outside of the goal. Sutter after it again. Gets tangled up with Troy Millette. Now separates from the check. Back to Norton. Norton's shot hits some skates in front, and the Rangers come up 2-on-2. This is Turcotte over the line. Pulls up. Centers one in front. There'll be a penalty to Flatley. He pulled his man down in front of the goal, and the Rangers go to the power play with 3 minutes and 53 seconds left.
Turcotte, there's Flatley as he gets a penalty. He is really incensed. No, he said, that's not a penalty. Drop down. He's faking it. I didn't do it. He goes to yelling, and then Van Helleman says, knock it off or you're gone. So he does. Smartly, Flatley starts to move his way to the penalty box where he is now, and another power play for the Rangers. Their fourth of the hockey game.
And the face-off deep in the Islanders zone. Brent Sutter will step in to take the draw against Kelly Kissio. Sandstrom is on the left side. Turcotte is on the right. Sandstrom handling the puck. Leach is stuck in. Now it comes back to James Patrick. Over it goes. Long shot. Pad save. Fitzpatrick stuck the right pad out to block Sandstrom's drive. And there's James Patrick being watched by Brent Sutter as he gives it to Leach. Leach through a screen. Up high. Fitzpatrick to stop. And it's cleared out of there by Nyland.
Islander defenseman doing a pretty good job that time of moving the Ranger forwards to the side so Fitzpatrick could get a look.
10 shots on goal for the Rangers in this period as Patrick leads them in. Turcotte with a shot that missed the net. And bouncing back to the left point for Leach. And it's to Sandstrom. Takes and played it across ice, and it was tipped. Held in by Leach. Works it around the boards. That's Dolan out now in the power play. They set up the points. Patrick, long shot to a screen. Mark Fitzpatrick has it, and there's no further play. A real winner. I mean, a real winner knows how to party right. Please use good sense when you drink. Know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Anheuser-Busch.
Mark Fitzpatrick with the percentage play for a goaltender. Rangers feeding the points regularly now. James Patrick whistles it. He screens, so he goes down. That puck was deflected also. Mark Fitzpatrick makes the stop, standing over him, looking for a rebound. Alf Dolan, but none came loose. There's the play by Mark Fitzpatrick. It's a percentage play. Goes down to cover all of the ice he can low and hopes that the puck isn't deflected up high.
Oh, what might have been. You look at James Patrick. He had the goal to give the Rangers a 2-0 lead midway through the first period. And then LaFontaine and Maloney scored for the Islanders here in the second. Leach handles the puck with this man advantage. Turcotte comes off the right wing boards. Playing it in a little deeper. Granato gives it back to him. They feed the blue line for Patrick. Over to Turcotte. His low shot underneath Fitzpatrick, and there's no further play. Diddick and Maloney shoving Ogrodnik away from the side of the net. 44 seconds left in Flatley's hooking penalty.
You can tell the guys with the good hands under the same circumstances. Some others would only get one poke at best. Ogrodnik gets 2 or 3. There's the puck. He sees it loose. 1, 2, 3. Keeps hammering away till Didick pushes him away. Then Maloney comes in, shoves him further. Here's Leach in. Little altercation with the defenseman in that deep, Jig. Shouldn't the face-off then come outside the blue line?
One would think so, wouldn't one?
Yeah, with altercation at the net. The defenseman, Brian Leach. I guess the Rangers get away with something here.
Now, they didn't come in to join it, actually. I guess they were in on the play, the power play at the time. How can you second-guess people like McCourt, Heyer, and Hogarth?
Van
Hellemond, excuse me. Close enough.
Andy knows what you mean.
Andy Van, yep. Talking to Al Arbor before the game, he said, I've got to get into a snarly mood. Say something, make me mad. Well, just with that, Andy Van Hellemond walked down the hall and said, take a look who's refereeing. Oh, that'll do it. Charged down into the room. James Patrick unable to move the puck into the Islanders' zone, and when he did, they had a man standing there, but do regain the blue line, and Nyland slams it down the ice. 15 seconds left in the penalty to Flatley. This is the 4th power play of the game. It's actually 4th power play of the period for the Rangers, and they go nowhere with it. Randy Wood with a quick shot just wide of Van Beesbrook. The rebound hopped over Sutter's stick. Now into the center ice area. The Rangers had 4 shots with that man advantage. Teams at 6 aside again. Turcotte dumping one back to the net. Rodnick checked on the play, and it's Gary Nyland beating a long pass. Is tipped at center ice. Brian Mullen shoots it back in. Off Fitzpatrick's stick to Nyland. Up the boards to Wood. Randy Wood held it, then fed right wing off Flatley. Off the glass into the Rangers zone. Orshava plays it up the left side. Broken up by Crossman. Orshava with a pass on to Jansen's stick. Up it goes to Erickson. Trying the left side to Mullen. That got broken up, and Nyland again has cleared the zone. Jansen's with it. Got it back into the Islanders zone with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the second period. Shame that these two teams don't play one another again until March, isn't it?
Yes, with this kind of hockey, everybody wants to see it. Never mind the intensity that an Islander-Ranger game generally brings. But here in the second period, as they did a week ago, the tempo picks up, the skating. The hitting stays in the game. Coach is enjoying it. 2-2 tie, 1 minute and 1 second remaining.
Well, there's a first call-up of the season for the New York Rangers, Jeff Bloomberg.
Yes, 21 years old. He played 3 seasons with North Bay. Last year he had 9 games with the Rangers, 64 games with their Denver farm team. He can get points, too. 7 goals, 22 assists he had in 64 games with Denver.
A year ago, I think the Rangers had, 4 or 5 guys back and forth between Denver and New York.
Is that all?
By this stage of the season,
yeah.
This is their first call-up. It's a pretty good illustration, I guess, of the depth. You think of the injuries, the number of people they've had out. Here's LaFontaine stealing the puck from Leach. That's LaFontaine. Centers it. Randy Wood centers one out in front. Had Kerr there, but couldn't get it to him cleanly, and it's James Patrick failing to clear the zone. Norton with a shot, deflected in front. LaFontaine takes Leach off the play, and here's Kerr with a shot just wide of the net. Bounces back to Yari Gronstrand. Kicks it toward the corner, and Brian Leach turns it over to Alan Kerr. Puts it to the side of the net. Leach is there. Bangs one off the boards. Alan Kerr steals it. Kerr with Mullen right on him. Able to get it to Wood. 13 seconds left in the period. Gronstrand's shot was right on, and LaFontaine is hauled down. Play is allowed to continue. Patrick all over LaFontaine as Wood moves from back of the Ranger net. Randy Wood pulls up on Leach, put it out in front, and there's the horn ending the second period. But the Islanders get even with the Rangers in the period. 2 unanswered goals after trailing 2-0 at the end of 1. LaFontaine gets them close, and then Don Maloney, the former Ranger, gets it even. And that's the way they go to the dressing room. They had a lot more action in that second period as far as penalties and power play opportunities. John Van Beesbrook much busier than he was in the opening 20 minutes. And it's all even, 2-2 between the Islanders and the Rangers. We'll be back with a recap following these messages.
Let's take a look at some of the opportunities. If you're talking about coming out of your own end, watch what Pat LaFontaine does. Feeds it over. Gronstrand returns it. Crossman, and here they come. That's King to LaFontaine He turns Horseva inside out. Walks in. What a beautiful shot. Nice action by Pat LaFontaine. Shrugs his shoulders, goes to the backhand. John Van Biesbroek comes up big again as he takes the scoring opportunity away. Good opportunity on the rebound for Brad Lauer, but nothing happened. Take another look as the Islanders picking up the tempo. The skating was there. Watch Pat LaFontaine. Look at the beautiful stride. Legs far apart. Fakes the shot. Holds it. Boy, Horseva must be getting sick and tired of watching him walk around him. Look at this shot. Just by the goal post. Fractions of an inch. Missing to the right of John Van Biesbroek. Well, if you're getting that kind of opportunity in a hockey game, you've got to make something count. And Pat LaFontaine did. He gets his 23rd goal of the season. On this flurry, there's the shot. Blocked. Backhand shot. There's the first shot. Good stop by Van Biesbroek, and then the rebound. Nobody near him. LaFontaine converts it. His 23rd of the season. Kerr and Didick assisting at 10:59, and the Islanders had a rallying point. It was now 2-1. They continued to put pressure on. The Islanders skating, passing, handling the puck well. McDonough down the boards. Crossman, the penalty just over. Crossman controls the puck. He takes a shot here. Van Biesbroek makes the save. An easy save. But then Crossman to the front of the net. It deflects off Maloney there. Before he could react to it, John Van Biesbroek sees the puck go into the net behind him. It was the tying goal at 13:23. Maloney, his 5th of the season from Crossman and McDonough, and it tied it at 2.
All right, from overhead, we get set for the third period. The Rangers haven't lost 3 in a row all season. They've dropped 2 straight coming in here. We're up 2-0. We're tied 2-2 going to the third period, and the Rangers handle the puck. James Patrick moves it up the right side to Jan Eriksson. Now to Lindy Ruff. Ruff playing up on right wing here at the moment. Janssens and Eriksson out there as well. Gerald Didick playing the puck up along the boards to Mick Vakota. Janssens took it away from him. And Didick takes Janssens into the board. Here's Eriksson with it. Leads the blue line. Horseva with a shot that went wide. And the rebound from left wing for Don Maloney. Maloney over center. On into the Ranger zone. Pulling to the right side. McDonough goes to the net. The pass actually is smothered by Van Biesbroek. Vakota draws the attention of the Rangers. Well, he does what he has to do, probably as well as anybody in the league right now, and that's to stir the pot. It's not boiling the way he thinks it should be.
He's like a kid with a stick poking it into a bee's nest, isn't he? John Van Biesbroek, the queen bee in this case, right after him, as Mick. I suppose to counter, you've got, he's up forward some of the time. Lindy Ruff playing up forward. There's a little flip through. Mick Vakota trailing the play. James Patrick stops. He just kind of runs in. Nobody gets hurt by it, but it's just a statement that he's making, and it's a statement the Rangers do not want to either hear or see.
Mentioned Vakota with 122 penalty minutes in his last 13 games. Maloney, Vakota, and McDonough talking it over at the Islander bench. Well, Mick's not going to be the best-looking guy at tomorrow's Christmas party, is he?
But I'll bet he has as much fun as Santa Claus.
Probably more, knowing Mick.
Yeah. Likes to have fun, everybody.
Capacity crowd on hand is Randy Wood right from the face-off. Had a shot deflected into the corner, comes back to him. Wood can't get through 3 Rangers, and now Brian Mullen clears the zone. Ogrodnik gets to it at center ice. Norton has him lined up. Ogrodnik held it. Steps one across to Mullen. In deep from a sharp angle. Hit the side of the net. And bouncing back toward the blue line. Bloomberg held it in. Ogrodnik lets it go to the corner for Kissio. Now to Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik, Mullen, and Kissio as they center one that's picked off and cleared by Norton. Kissio knocked it down. Finally it goes to Alan Kerr to Randy Wood. Checked at the Ranger line, picks it up again, and put the play offside. We're 1 minute and 14 seconds into the third period at the Nassau Coliseum.
Of course, everybody on the Islander side was just hoping and praying that the Islanders would have a 1-goal lead going to the third period. As you get a look at number 44, Lindy Ruff, 29 years old. Buffalo Sabre. He was a 79 draft pick. Boy, what a valuable player. To have a player that can step in under the circumstances and never be out of place, playing forward and defense in the same game.
Now, Ruff playing the far point has given it to James Patrick. Banks it off the left skates, right to Mark Fitzpatrick, to Patrick Flatley. And everybody in this game except St. Patrick's Cathedral tonight.
Not over yet.
The volley could dump it in. Well, we may need that divine intervention here before it's all over. Rangers have laid it down into the Islanders' zone through the goal crease, so icing waved off. Crossman to Baumgartner, clears the zone with a pass to Volek. David Volek to Brent Sutter. Dumps it between the defense. Bloomberg with it. Almost turned it over. And now at center ice, Thomas Sandstrom has it knocked off his stick by Baumgartner. This is Crossman to Volek. Left side to Flatley. Patrick Flatley pushed into the boards and got away from Bloomberg. Brian Leach handles the puck and dumps it out of the zone. 2-2 is the score. Nyland knocks it away from Sandstrom. And right back to Bloomberg, and LaFontaine steps in front of him. Harry Nyland feeds it out of the zone to Flatley. Up the left wing to Derek King. Cross the line with LaFontaine. King to LaFontaine. He scores!
What an advantage we have. Just sit this high and watch what we just saw. You could read the play coming the minute it went through center ice. Todd LaFontaine was in full flight. Who's going to catch him? Maybe one of the bumblebees that Nick Dakota scared out of the nest earlier. Derek King hesitated long enough. He could see him coming. Here's the play in the center ice area. What a play by Flatley to hold the blue line, the center ice area. Look at King. Look. He looks. He's holding the puck. He's holding it for what? He knows what's coming. There he is. Pat LaFontaine converting a perfect pass from Derek King, and the Islanders have a one-goal lead. First time in the hockey game, Pat LaFontaine gives the Islanders a one-goal lead. His 24th of the season, his second tonight.
Wow, 2:25 into the third period, and LaFontaine is over the line again and hauled down. The Islanders will go to the power play.
Well, you could call him Mr. Hustle. You could call him Mr. just about anything. Look at the play here. Pat LaFontaine gets a step on James Patrick as he tries to get the puck to the right side. Patrick pulls him down, takes a hooking penalty. The Islanders leading by one, going to the power play.
This will be the fourth chance with the man advantage for the Islanders. LaFontaine got the puck to Lauer. Norton fed it to King. Long shot off the blocking glove of goaltender John Van Beesbrook. Here's Brad Lauer. Lauer comes off the left wing with a pass to Crossman, and his shot deflects off Erickson and up into the seat.
What a defensive move by Erickson. He read the play perfectly as Lauer fed it across to Doug Crossman. Crossman got the shot away quickly, but Erickson, reading the play, got his stick out in time to deflect it. And Crossman was halfway to the net from his point position on the blue line.
John Erickson peeling off this penalty. Let's take another look at the move by Erickson.
This is down in the corner out of your viewing is Lauer. There's his pass. There's the deflected shot as Erickson. He was a finalist for the Selkie Award back in 1988.
Now Crossman feeds it to Derek King. To give him some room, King mishandled it, however, and the Rangers dump it down the ice. LaFontaine with 2 goals tonight. Luke Robitaille has scored a goal, so he leads the league with 26 goals. Then you've got Hull, Nichols, and LaFontaine, each with 24. Norton brings the puck in offside at the Ranger blue line.
Islanders having problems getting control of the puck, getting some plays at John Van Beesbrook in the goal. Norton was in full flight that time, but the puck, Crossman shot it in, hit the Ranger defenseman, and bounced back out into the center ice area, creating an offside with the Islander forwards already across the blue line.
Rangers have a date at home tomorrow night with the Montreal Canadiens. The Islanders off until Tuesday night. The New Jersey Devils will visit the Nassau Coliseum. Devils with a home game tomorrow night themselves. Here's Norton backing deeper into the Islanders zone.
And here we go with the 1940 again.
Over the line with it, Sutter to Volek up the middle. It slipped off his stick. Volek recovers. Then lost his balance. Sutter puts it in front. Off LaFontaine's stick, and it slides harmlessly back into the Islanders zone. Why do they chant the year of your birth every time they get together here, 18? What is that?
I wish they wouldn't do that. Well, actually, it's a nice year to be born. I suppose it's not very nice for the Ranger players to be reminded of that regularly, but the fans have fun with it.
LaFontaine to Sutter at the side of the net. Brent Sutter feeds it across. Doug Crossman had all kinds of trouble. He had a bouncing puck to contend with, and then went to shoot it, and it was up on edge. Norton has to carry back behind the net with 30 seconds to go in the power play. To Brent Sutter, now to Crossman. Crossman feeds Volek. He's over the Ranger line, pulling to right wing. David Volek Feeds it around the boards. LaFontaine has it. Trying to work it into Sutter. Comes back to Norton instead. Now to David Volek. To LaFontaine. Takes it off the board. Feeds the point. This is Norton. 10 seconds in the power play. Doug Crossman tried to center one. It was broken up. And Granado took his eye off it. Lost it at center ice. One shot on goal with the power play for the Islanders. They lead the Rangers 3-2. Norton dumps it in wide of the net. Orcheva reaching for it. Now he's giving it to Bloomberg. Jeff Bloomberg dumping it into the Islanders zone. Back for it is Gerald Diddick, and that's an icing call against the New York Rangers.
Some of the excited fans here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Now the Islanders with a 1-goal lead. See if they can continue.
That hat have a chin strap?
I wasn't noticing.
He was just a shadow. 15 minutes to go in the third period.
5 o'clock.
No. Offside is the pass here, by the way, out of the Rangers zone to the Islanders side of the center ice stripe.
What a blast in the first period. Mullen, as he went down the left wing side, Brian ripped it into the top right-hand corner. He can let it fly. That was the opening goal of the game, his 7th of the season. And we were trying to get an assist for John Ogrodnik, but we still haven't succeeded.
Now the Rangers clear the puck through center, the length of the ice, and Patrick played it. And Diddick trying to move it out of the zone. James Patrick collides with Lakota, and Diddick comes up with the puck. Plays it around Rupp, and dumps it around Kissio. Diddick and Kissio pawing at one another. Diddick separates and fires one wide of Van Beesbrook. Lakota draws the crowd, gets the puck back to the point to Nyland. Plays it to the open corner. McDonough in after it. Andy Rupp put it in the skates of Maloney. There's Lakota to the side of the net, and McDonough couldn't tip it by Van Beesbrook. Rodnick turns it over to Mick Lakota. Rangers in trouble in their own end. Now McDonough can't handle the puck, and James Patrick bangs it off the boards at center ice. Harry Nyland works it up left wing. It's intercepted, however. Coming it back is Brian Mullen, and turns it on into the Islanders zone. With Patrick out of the net. Uses the left wing boards, giving it to Maloney. Now to McDonough. 3 Rangers back as McDonough elected to dump it in. And the Islanders go for a player change. Kerr into forecheck, knocking Bloomberg off the puck. Rangers come to center ice. Thomas Sandstrom one-hands it into the Islanders zone. As Patrick plays it around to Randy Wood. Wood back to Norton. He dumps it out to center ice. Bloomberg leading the left side. That's Brian Leach. Over the Islander blue line. Leach unloads one that hit Gronstrand. Gronstrand is tied up. LaFontaine got checked, but the puck went right to Kerr. Alan Kerr up to LaFontaine over center ice into the Ranger zone, trying to get Patrick turned around. LaFontaine centers, and Wood couldn't get a stick on it. Here's LaFontaine again. Clears it out through center to Crossman. Wood had been knocked down to the goal mouth, so the Islanders have to kill a little time here.
Watching Pat LaFontaine control the puck and go round and round, he looks like a road runner. Nobody can catch him. You have to start putting all of those kind of traps out for him. Like, beep.
In through center ice, the Rangers across the Islander blue line. Turcotte waited, and then Korsheva put it back in the net. Fitzpatrick swings it up the board. Roy Millette battling for it. Good job here. The Islanders, Patrick Flatley, Brent Sutter, and David Volek finally clear the zone. Volek can't recover at center. Baumgartner moves up for it. He's over the Ranger line with a blast off the blocking glove of Van Beesbrook. Jeff Bloomberg moves it out for the New York Rangers. Then Renato got checked, and Volek comes over the line with Sutter. Volek shot off Korsheva. Sutter reaching in, can't make contact with it. Crossman dumps it into the corner for Flatley. Out of Brent Sutter. Korsheva ties him up. Turcotte digs it off the boards. Millette trying to center. It's hooked away by Volek. Played it right back to Van Beesbrook. 12 minutes to go in the third period. It's Islanders 3, Rangers 2. Renato to the left side. There's the big save off the shot from Dolan. What a save again. It was Turcotte, excuse me. And Fitzpatrick comes up with a glove. Islanders 3, Rangers 2. You're watching New York Islanders hockey on Sports Channel.
Pretty good tempo in the hockey game. Some good hitting. Flatley, boom. He goes down, but he gets his shoulder in. And here, Turcotte This looked almost like the goal that was scored at the beginning of the game when Mullen put it by, but a little different positioning by goaltender Mark Fitzpatrick. His catching glove in the right position. Bang, just what I've got. I'm not giving it away.
Long arms. Glove is so low. Seems to dangle almost to the knee, doesn't it?
Well, that's the position, much like first baseman in baseball. Goaltenders have to carry the glove down low. It's a lot easier to bring the glove up. You can never go down in time to get a hard shot.
Now the Rangers start out of their own zone. Brian Mullen brings the puck to center ice. Gave it to James Patrick. Patrick in deep, puts it in front, deflected off the stick, and Brad Lauer trying to get it out of the zone. Gave it to LaFontaine, down to King. Ruff back. King shoots from the blue line off Lindy Ruff's stick. Diddick in after it, gave it to King, trying to center from back of that Ranger goal. Diddick stays in deep, takes his man down. Eric King and Lindy Ruff continue to battle for control of it. King gets it to the stick, centered it out in front. Here's Makota, got turned around, couldn't find it. And it's Brian Mullen cutting through center ice for the Rangers, crisscrossing with Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik in after the puck, couldn't get a shot away. Gerald Diddick springs Barry King. A stick came up in King's face. Play is allowed to continue. And the Rangers control it now. Bloomberg steps over center ice and fires it on into the Islander zone. 10 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the third period. Here's a chance for the Rangers, but Fitzpatrick gets back into the goal mouth. Dolan puts it back to the net and heads to the front of the goal as it's centered by Sandstrom, but right to Don Maloney. Now to Hughie McDonough. McDonough over the line, shoots one that's wide of the net. Dolan recovers on left wing for the New York Rangers. Gave it to Jan Eriksson. The pass to Sandstrom, he couldn't handle it. Now he gets it into the Islander zone with help from Dolan, and they clear it right back out again. Brian Leach slaps it off the board. In to pick it up is Doug Crossman. Crossman set up Don Maloney for the tying goal in the second period, and LaFontaine has scored here in the third to give the Islanders that 3-2 lead.
Halfway through the third period now, and the Islanders, as you pointed out, with a one-goal lead.
Brian Leach taking the pass from Sandstrom, carries it through center ice. Over the Islander line, off balance and then knocked down, and Crossman, nice play to get it away from the left. Doug Crossman plays it high off the glass. Lindy Ruff drops back for the Rangers. Dumps it out through center ice. Here's Baumgartner with it. Dumps it in. The Islanders regain the blue line. And Lindy Ruff goes to the left side with that pass. Eriksson goes cross ice with the feed intended here for Granato. Tony Granato shoves off the play by Gary Nyland's check. Fontaine clears the zone. They ruled the Rangers could have played it. So Horshova has to chase it back. James Patrick break in, and the Islanders able to break up the play, and Horshova goes back for the New York Rangers. Now 9 minutes to go in the third period. A one-goal lead for the Islanders. Brian Mullen backhands it in. Kelly Kissio goes to the corner. Checked there by Gronstrand, and the puck moves to the opposite corner. David Volek clears the zone. Flatley trying to knock it away from Horshova. Gets a little help from Gronstrand. The pass off Volek's stick. And up with it is Bloomberg. He's had a lot of ice time.
He's played well for the Rangers. Yes, he has, Jiggs. He's not been out of his class here in this hockey game, and it is a good game, particularly in the last two periods, not necessarily because of the score.
And that long pass from Dolan ends up on Brent Sutter's stick. He got checked at the blue line, but Norton comes up with it. Norton's laying it wide of Van Beesbrook. The Islanders going for a player change. That gave Leach a chance to move out. He sidestepped Lauer, comes over center. Into the Islanders zone, pulling to the left side. Quick shot, and off the stick of Mark Fitzpatrick. Ken Baumgartner clears it out. Patrick, for the Rangers, could have played it, so icing is waved off. Now less than 8 minutes to go in the third period. James Patrick to Brian Leach. Leach up the middle. Eriksson to Sandstrom. This shot misses the net. Rebounds out to center ice. Derek King waited for it. Patrick drops back on defense. King to LaFontaine. Around Patrick. Cuts in. There's Lauer. He shoots. Has he scored?
Yes, the light is on. According to the goal judge, it's a goal.
There will be a discussion here. The net came off. The puck went in. But what happened first? Van Helleman will consult with the ice official and also with his linesman, I believe. The veteran Andy Van Helleman will determine whether it's 4-3 or still 3-2?
A lot of the Rangers still around the goal judge. He had the light on immediately, but he did have it on earlier in the hockey game and waved it off.
It is a goal.
Yes, they're going to the center ice area. That's a signal by the referee. He intends to keep it as a goal. LaFontaine again. He's done everything in this hockey game. He drops the shoulder, makes the pass across. Lauer hammers it there. It's in the net. There's no question. You could see it in the bottom right-hand corner before anybody got to the net. And Lauer has hammered a pass from LaFontaine into the lower right-hand corner. There's the pass. There's the shot between the legs. It goes in just inside the goalpost, and then with some help from Dolan, so does Brad Lauer. His fourth goal of the season, a 2-goal Islander lead, 7:36 remaining in the third period.
Brad Lauer with a big goal, a 2-goal bulge now for the Islanders, and 7 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the third period. The Islanders have outshot the Rangers 6-2 in the third period. The Islanders playing their fourth game in 5 nights. James Patrick say in the first intermission they expected them to be a little tired and take a period to find their legs.
Maybe his teammates were listening. They took the wrong approach. They're waiting for the Islanders just to run out of gas, and they haven't. They picked up the tempo in the second period after killing off back-to-back penalties, or I should say a 2-man disadvantage, and they've maintained that level ever since. Brad Lauer. You're watching the game last night at the end of the second period. I was talking with Brad Lauer, and one of the things we talked about was being involved at both ends of the ice. He felt he was getting some scoring opportunities. He felt a little more involved. He was getting some ice time, and here it is, paying off the next night against the Rangers.
Now LaFontaine is back out there, centering a line of Randy Wood and Alan Kerr. Jeff Norton uses the boards to clear the puck out. Ronstrand moves up, gives it to Wood. He couldn't handle it at the center ice stripe. Ronstrand broke up a Ranger pass, but it's Ogrodnik now, feeding it up the right side to Bloomberg. Bloomberg dumps it back to the net. Patrick uses the board for the pass to Wood. Bloomberg held it in. Norton blocked that shot. Just cleared it out. Randy Wood trying to get it away from Bloomberg, but the Islanders have to chase it again. 6 minutes, 23 seconds to play in the third period. LaFontaine with 2 goals and an assist. The assist is 200. In his NHL career, 416 games he's played as of tonight.
And only hope that we'll see Pat LaFontaine attain a lot of milestones in his career.
Sure we will. The Islanders dumped it in, and the Rangers got to it apparently before it could be called for icing, and we have just less than 6 minutes to go. Clearing pass hit LaFontaine's skates. Randy Wood into forecheck, knocked Rupp off the puck. Rupp comes right back at Wood. LaFontaine couldn't handle it, however, and this is Sandstrom. Didn't get it to Janssens in time. The Rangers regroup at center ice. Tomas Sandstrom bumped by Patrick Flatley, and Bollig trying to feed it to the open wing. Up comes James Patrick for the Rangers. Gave it to Mark Janssen. Janssen centers one. LaFontaine stole the pass and clears it out. Played it slowly down into the Rangers zone. Lindy Ruff in to pick it up. Well, he feed the right side. Erickson comes over center ice. Across the Islander line. The feed was out of the reach of Sandstrom. He brought the stick around on Crossman. Now the two of them collide. Crossman slashes at Sandstrom. And there'll be a penalty to Doug Crossman and also to Tomas Sandstrom. And Baumgartner is right on the scene.
He and Baumgartner were getting close to each other earlier. Sandstrom was antagonizing Ken Baumgartner. Now, I guess, penalties to both the Islanders and the Rangers. Sandstrom in the penalty box for the Rangers. Doug Crossman for the Islanders. 2 minutes each for slashing. One thing about it, they did keep the sticks down. There's Crossman, number 3. Puts a restraint. Sandstrom swings back. Crossman clocked them across the back of the legs, and they both get 2 minutes.
And now exactly 5 minutes to play in the third period. The Islanders looking for their third win against the Patrick Division foe. They've only been able to beat the Washington Capitals in Landover twice this season. They scored victories within the division, and now Granato comes over the line with a shot that's wide of Mark Fitzpatrick. Chris King took a shot at Derek King. The puck comes back to Leach. Into the corner, Granato centers. There's Gary Nyland. Up the left side. Fontaine couldn't clear it out. The puck went to Brad Lauer. Lead pass out of the reach of King, and quickly Van Beesbrook moves out of the net. He's giving it to Chris King. Cross ice. Turcotte can't handle it. Fontaine can't get it to Derek King either. Leach sends King over the line. Left side to Mullen. Big drive. Misses the net. Comes bouncing around the boards to King. Derek King. To Mick Lakota. Waited for it. Dropped it off. Brings it over the Ranger line. Then back solidly into Ruff. And put it in the corner.
See King on King, too. Chris King decking Derek King.
Now the Rangers come out. Kitsio over the Islander line. Poked away by Gronstrand. Jeff Norton back. Got it around the boards. Here's James Patrick setting up at the blue line. Patrick puts it back in the net. Kitsio is checked by Gronstrand as he reached for the puck. Jari Gronstrand, who has played well again tonight, has dumped it out.
Good observation again, Jake. He played well for the Islanders last night, doing what they asked of him. Good, solid defensive work in his own end. He's a very good passer of the puck.
Yeah, I think the Islanders have to be pleased. They played one game and then went to Springfield and with injuries was called up. Here's Alan Kerr stealing the puck. Walked in, was tripped up from behind. Bloomberg knocked him down. Rangers come to the Islander blue line. Ogrodnik holding the puck. Now shoots one. He scores!
That changes the complexion of the hockey game. A 2-goal lead isn't a big lead. Time on the clock, and John Ogrodnik, who has a very good shot, his 20th of the season, just inside the goalpost to the right of Fitzpatrick, has changed it all now. The Islanders' 2-goal lead has been cut in half. Ogrodnik stops and then cranks it up. A low, hard shot just inside the post. And it's a 4-3 hockey game. There's the shot. You could see Mark Fitzpatrick. A shot from the point. He had to be somewhat screened. It didn't appear that he had misplayed it. But it's 4-3. Ogrodnik, his 20th of the season.
Kelly Kitsio gets the only assist on the goal. Now 3 minutes on the clock as of now. 3 to play in the third period. The Rangers trailing 4-3. Remember, the Rangers had led 2-0. The Islanders with 4 unanswered goals until Ogrodnik scored. Rangers dump it in and race it after it. Jansen puts it in front. Fitzpatrick, a big stop by Troy Millette. And then some milling around, some grabbing, some pushing, and a whole lot of shoving here after the whistle. But what a stop by Mark Fitzpatrick with 2:43 left to play.
The Rangers come back quickly. Jansen, a pass to the front. Troy Millette, what a shot. Sometimes it's better if you don't move. Mark Fitzpatrick doesn't. He holds his angle in the middle of the ice. Nyland clears some players away. And a good play by the goaltender, Fitzpatrick. A drive by Troy Millette. Good play by Jansen.
Rangers wanting to get back into a tie situation here. Philadelphia was leading Los Angeles at our last report. If the Flyers win and the Islanders, or the Rangers, I should say, lose, and the Flyers move into first place in the Patrick division. That's Baumgartner moving the puck up to Sutter. And Sutter clears the zone. Dropping backboard is James Patrick. Patrick goes to the left side. That's Chris King. Fires it deep into the Islanders zone. Baumgartner backboard. And play it with his hand. Got it to the stick. Then to Patrick Flatley. Can't clear it out. Leach inching in off the far point. It comes to the left side to Baumgartner. Uses the glass to clear it through center, and it spins into the goal mouth area, and it's cleared by Van Beesbrook. Off Sutter. Over comes Patrick Flatley. Flatley with under 2 minutes to go in the third period. The crossman now to Baumgartner. Up to Brent Sutter. Cross ice to Volek. Pulls it across the line, then gets checked on the play. This is Kitsio. Keep an eye on Van Beesbrook with 1 minute and 42 seconds left. Flatley turns the Ranger player Horsheva around and knocks the puck loose. Kitsio dumps it on into the Islander zone. Van Beesbrook inches out of the net. Fitzpatrick gave it to Diddick around the boards into Maloney's skates. It's picked up by Hubie McDonough's cross-check from behind. Rangers held it in. Ogrodnik back in the net. Checked by Nyland. Diddick goes for the puck. Puts it in the corner for Flatley with 1 minute and 18 seconds left. 1-goal lead. The Islanders 4, the Rangers 3. Diddick ties up the man. Flatley goes after the puck along with Kitsio. Patrick Flatley checked on the boards. Van Beesbrook still on the ice as Mullen turns over in the wing. Got knocked down by McDonough. Rangers dump it in deep for Kitsio. Diddick took care of him. Nyland takes his man. Patrick Flatley has the puck with less than a minute to go. But the Rangers all over the Islanders in their own end. Here's a long shot. Glove save by Fitzpatrick. He throws it off, but play has been called. 51 seconds left on the clock. Face off in the Islanders zone, and the Rangers will pull the goalkeeper.
Rangers doing what they have to do, what they want to do, and that's to contain the Islanders in their end of the ice. Try and get some scoring opportunities. The Islanders doing a pretty good job of keeping the puck outside, back at the point position. There's the shot. Mark Fitzpatrick, he had an excellent look at it. No traffic in front. Nyland in the bottom right-hand corner on John Ogrodnik, trying to keep him away from the front of the net. It was Ogrodnik that scored to bring it a little closer a moment ago, his 20th of the season. That's the 9th time in 10 years that John Ogrodnik has scored at least 20 goals.
Rangers taking a 30-second timeout.
Al Arbor summoning the troops. Settle down. We know what to do. We practiced it. Everybody's got a job to do. If we get possession of the puck, you go here. If you don't get possession of the puck, you go someplace else. You know where to go. Having Flatley and Maloney, the experience they have defensively and in their own end of the ice, and the way Gary Nyland has been playing most of this season. Crossman, who has been outstanding. Brent Sutter for the face-offs, excuse me, Jake.
The capacity crowd has been treated to another excellent game, and we get our first indications of little ruckuses in the seats now, which is unfortunate, but not uncommon. There's the empty net. And we'll set it up for the Rangers. Mullen, Sandstrom, Kissio, Ogrodnik, Leach, and Patrick. For the Islanders, Brent Sutter, Don Maloney, and Patrick Flatley. The defense pairing, Crossman and Nyland. Face off to the right of Fitzpatrick. Kissio and Sutter on the draw. The best of friends. Kissio gets the puck back to James Patrick. Patrick around one check. Holding it. It slips off his stick and comes out to center ice. Patrick Flatley deflected it back into the zone for Crossman, and he dumps it down the ice. It's spinning wide, but not across the goal line before James Patrick picked it up. Patrick has given it to Leach. His pass at center, broken up by Don Maloney. Kicked away by James Patrick with 25 seconds left. And Kitsio can't handle it. It's cleared down into the Rangers zone.
What a smart play by Brent Sutter. That will not be in the papers tomorrow, but he just dumped it gently down the boards. He didn't try to go for the net and miss, end up with an icing and a face-off in his own end of the ice.
Now Kitsio leaves the rush. Ogrodnik's shot is turned aside. They center it back to Kitsio with 6 seconds left, and Sutter takes it away from him. Couldn't clear it out. It's outside the line, and the Islanders are going to beat the Rangers for the first time this season. They go back to congratulate Fitzpatrick. There's a scene you haven't seen in a long, long time. The Islanders, like kids, celebrating this victory. This is a